Will lockdowns return to South Africa? Ruyter says he was poisoned. And Lesufi says people who paid e-tolls will be refunded, but the question is, how? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News in 5. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. And let me first kick off the show by saying Happy New Year and Happy Holidays, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a fantastic holiday. And with that being said, let's get into it. Lesufi says e-toll payers will be refunded nearly 7 billion rand. It's just a question of how. Yeah, exactly. It's just a question of how, because the ANC has no money. There has been a clear decision that motorists who have been paying e-tolls must receive some form of refund, said Lesufi on 702. He indicated that such refunds would amount to close to 6.9 billion rand.
What?
A decision still has to be taken in what form such refunds will take. For example, in cash or as credit for future use of other toll roads, according to Lesufi.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Credit? That's just going to piss off every South African that's ever paid e-tolls. Look, it's great that the e-toll system is being scrapped. We all know it was worthless, and that's why a lot of South Africans weren't paying their e-tolls. But let's have a look at some of the comments in the comment section of this article. Ray Lynn said, "Receive credits for other future toll fees? I refuse to pay some 16,000 rand over the e-toll years. If I had paid, my chance of getting this back in toll credits is a joke. I would have to live in my car traveling tolled highways for a very long time." Like I said, giving credit back to South Africans is going to be useless. Mamader says, "In all honesty, I'd rather them take the 7 billion and fix the thousands of potholes or resurface the bad roads in and around Johannesburg." A fair point, but I think they need more than 7 billion rand. Polo 1 says, "What a stupid thing to say. How will we get our money back from Uber, idiot?" Debbie W also says, "How are you going to refund those of us that paid e-tolls via car rental companies?" And these last two make an excellent point. And this is why I agree with some of the comments who say that this is about elections. Of course, ANC is trying to do good things to win some votes. Ironically, if the ANC would just focus on fixing the power issue in South Africa, as well as the crime issue, they'd get way more votes. But no, they would never do that because they only care about themselves instead of the South African people. Ruyter confirms he may have been poisoned the day after his resignation. Eskom CEO André Ruyter has survived an alleged attempt on his life. EE Business Intelligence reported that Ruyter became ill after drinking a cup of coffee at Eskom's offices in Sunninghill. He had been vomiting and shaking, became unable to walk, and then collapsed. He was taken to the doctor, where he was diagnosed as suffering cyanide poisoning. Doctors confirmed that he had elevated levels of cyanide in his blood in consecutive tests a few days apart. This is the stuff you hear about in movies. And listen, I'll say what we're all thinking. I mean, these people are so incompetent that they can't even carry out a hit properly, allegedly. All I know is someone got fired as an assassin. The ANC probably watched this TikTok trend. Contacted that person and said, "Hey, we got a job for you." Like I said, this is all speculation. I'm just having a bit of fun here. It'll be really interesting to see what this investigation brings to light, although I have a feeling we'll never really find out who is behind it. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, National Coronavirus Council to meet over new COVID-19 sub-variant. What? President Cyril Ramaphosa said the National Communist Command Council would be meeting on Tuesday to deliberate on measures needed to tackle the new COVID-19 Omicron sub-variant XBB 1.5. Where do they come up with these names? The highly transmissible sub-variant was detected in the Western Cape last week. Of course it was. In an exclusive interview with Eyewitness News on Monday, Ramaphosa said although the sub-variant nicknamed Kraken,
"Release the Kraken,"
was highly transmissible, South Africans need not panic. Trust me, no one is panicking. He said the health department and scientists would suggest preventative measures specific to the newly detected variant. So is there going to be a lockdown again and other ridiculous restrictions like banning of chicken or open-toed shoes or alcohol and tobacco? No, but South Africa will extend COVID-19 vaccine booster shots currently available to people older than 50 to all adults soon, the health minister said on Tuesday. Yada, 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 yada. I can't really comment further because, well, YouTube won't like what I have to say. But I think one of the most important things to take from this article is this. The Coronavirus Council accepted advice that there is no need to impose any new restrictions on South Africans or to travelers from China. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is no lockdown and there is no further restrictions, thank goodness. But I just wanted to confirm with you guys that lockdowns are not going to happen, at least for the time being. After all, the NCC is still around, so who knows what will happen in the future. But this also brings up a bit of concern because the IRR had a campaign to disband the NCC, and I wonder what's happened to that campaign. I will be following up with the IRR to find out. But let me know your thoughts on these stories in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this content, you may enjoy these videos. Ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be back with this show, and thank you so much for the continued support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.